focused, community focused. We're here for you. Our point of view. At 5 o'clock, you're in North London. A week in review. We're here for you, yeah!
Hooray! 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 Hooray!
Community Focus is an art centre for children and adults with disabilities. We are based in the Borough of Barnet, North London, and offer a selection of creative and well-being activities for all ages.
In the room we have
Gila,
Jonathan,
Amir,
Philip.
Andrea,
Phil,
and Carol. Welcome to a very important episode. This week, in recognition of Anti-Bullying Week, we're doing something a little different and a little heavier than usual. This isn't our ordinary episode. Today, we are opening up and sharing our own real experiences with bullying. Stories that may be difficult or upsetting to hear at times, but that we believe are important to talk about. If you are currently being bullied, or any part of this episode brings up difficult feelings, please know that you're not alone. We've included the contact details for the National Bullying Helpline in the episode description below. Please ask for help if you need support. We hope this conversation helps shine a light on what bullying really looks like and how it affects people, and what we can all do to stand up against it.
how was your week, Gila?
my week, thank you Amir for asking how my week has been. My week has been really good. I went to baking and I saw my baking friends. We baked a lot. We baked honeycomb, blondies that I love making, and we baked other things that I can't remember on top of my head. Jonathan, how was your week?
My week was mostly uneventful. I had a minor little scare during the week because my air conditioner broke down and leaked water onto my PC that was up and running at the time, and I didn't realise for a little bit. So yeah, as soon as I saw that the water had gone into it, I immediately panicked, as anyone would, and just yanked all the cables and stuff out and put it in front of a fan heater, left it there overnight, and thankfully when I checked it in the morning it was okay. So yeah, that was a big scare. Yeah, it's a very expensive PC, so wouldn't want that to get destroyed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Carol, how was your week?
My week was interesting. I applied for volunteering at a bookstore. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I'm a bit nervous. But I'm also excited to start, which I start next week. So yeah.
When you have done a bit of volunteering in the bookstore, will you tell us all about it?
Yes, I will.
how did you get the job? Where did you find out about it?
My dad actually saw there was something on the shop window saying looking for volunteers, and he sent me a picture, and then I emailed them saying I wanted to do it as a volunteer, and then they responded back to me, and then I didn't go for any interviews. I actually met them in person, and they said I can come in to ask a few questions. And then I gave down my details, and yeah, and then they had like some rota of what days you want to do, so I'll be doing like Thursdays. Cool. Amir, how was your week?
We went to MemCap coach. We went to somewhere.
You went on a coach,
Yes.
and where did you go on the coach?
We have an interview with someone, yes.
And you said something about you did a disco.
We have a music and karaoke.
Oh, you had karaoke?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. And what did you sing at the karaoke?
Mamma Mia.
Mamma, is that your song?
Yes.
Is that the song you like to sing?
Yes.
I thought you were a big Gary Barlow fan.
Yes.
Oh, that's really good. Phil, I've got a question for you. Why are you dressed as a hunter today? For the benefit of our listeners, he's got army fatigue trousers, and he's got a fisherman's jacket, missing all of the fishing tackle and the hooks, etc.
We just want to know, how many pockets do you have?
How many pockets have you got?
About 8.
8, more like 800.
No, not 800. 8. I got so many in my on me, you know.
And can I ask, are all the pockets full of humbugs?
Oh, humbug! Nothing. No. Only one. Only one.
I mean, the only thing you could be hunting around Ferrari Park is humbugs. Do you shoot humbugs with your bazooka?
No, I don't feel pot. Cheeky monkey, ain't you? I mean, in my situation, I just suck it and see.
Oh.
Oh.
Have you had a good week? What have you been up to this week?
Well, yesterday I came here on a community focus. To be or not to be, that is a question. We're doing a soap opera, or you know, and we really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, you know.
And the soap opera is going to be on here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
And how's it going?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
Have you got any characters or anything yet?
Not at the moment, no. But I love this organisation. I really do. You know, this organisation means a lot to me.
Yes. And you mean a lot to us, Phil.
Oh, thank you.
Thank everybody. Thank you.
Today we are going to talk about bullying. According to the UK government website, there is no legal definition of bullying. However, it's usually defined as behaviour that is repeated, intended to hurt someone either physically or emotionally, often aimed at certain groups, for example, because of race, religion, gender or sexual orientation. It takes many forms and can include physical assault, teasing, making threats, name-calling, cyberbullying, and that is bullying via mobile phone or online. For example, email, social networks, and text messages. Jonathan, if you are okay to talk about your experience of bullying, then please do.
Yeah, sure. Yes, okay with me. One particular instance of bullying, I think it was one of the last cases of physical bullying that ever happened. I can't remember if it's the last, but it's one of the last. It was in secondary school. I think I was about 15. 4 of the bullies that were in my school, they basically decided to get together and they decided that I belonged in the bin. So the four of them basically picked me up. One had one arm, one had the other, one had one leg, one had the other leg. They hoisted me up into the air. And as they were basically carrying me over to a bin, I managed to get my right arm free from one of them, and as soon as I did, I turned that hand into a fist and I punched that guy in the face as hard as I could. And as soon as I did that, the other three dropped me, and then they went over to the guy I punched, who was now holding his face in pain. And that guy, he was in a lot of pain, and they just basically took him into the school building. And those guys never bothered me again after that. So, yeah.
Did you get into trouble with what you did?
No, I don't think they ever told anyone. I think they'd be a bit too embarrassed, the idea of getting punched in the face by me. I had some friends at the time. They congratulated me on the punch that I gave him. For me, in that situation, with everything, I had no other choice to hit him. I had to do something, otherwise I was going to go in the bin. There were very few options. There was no reasoning with them. They were carrying me through the playground, and I had to do whatever it is I could do to get myself out of the situation. If I could talk my way out of it, I would have, but that was not going to work in the situation.
How long had it been going on for you to have that so much anger that you needed to get that out?
Yeah, those guys, they were always trouble. They were trouble for a lot of people. Sometimes for me, sometimes for others. Thankfully, secondary school, it was mostly a different type of bullying. It wasn't very physical in secondary school. It was a lot more physical in primary school, sadly. But those four bullies, I don't think they really did much after that in general, really. It was, especially the one I hit in the face. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. It cannot be easy, Jonathan, to tell us that story. Thank you so much.
It's okay. Yeah, that was thankfully one of the more positive bullying stories, because at least I stopped them, unlike some other times.
I have two examples. One is that my friends at school in my secondary school, took my clip-on tie off and threw my tie in the bin for some reason. And I don't think we had a friends breakup, but I can't remember. But we always have a friends breakup at some point. And the other one was, so when I was in homework club, my friends came in and I heard them talking about what they want to do to me, I think. And this was when we wasn't friends and everything. And one of the friends came in, put their hands around my neck, nearly choked me, and I felt like I can't say anything to them. I feel like I couldn't say, "Get off, why are you doing this? Go away, you're not my friends, just leave me alone." But I feel like I couldn't do that. But one of the teachers came out of the office and said, "Hey, what you doing to Gila? Take your hands off her." And they listened, the friends, and then the friends just ran away and giggled, and I thought, you're not my friends. Why are you even trying to be my friends? And whenever I look back at this story, I think to myself, why did I even think they were my friends? Because they're not my friends. I feel like they wanted something of me, and I don't know what they wanted of me, but they weren't my friends.
And did they get into trouble?
They did. I went to student services after this all happened, and basically told the head of my year group what happened, and they actually got in trouble and said, do not do this to Gila again. And I just feel like no one should ever be in the situation when you feel like you can't speak out, because you can.
Gila, what would your advice be if someone was listening to you and they were bullied?
My advice would be to don't let it bottle up inside you. Tell people that you're being bullied. Don't think that you are the victim if you tell people, because if you tell people, then things will get better and you will feel much more happier that you told people, and more prouder that you told people, because then if you tell people, then you can feel like someone else can sort it out for you, and also then you don't feel like you are on your own with what you are going through.
Phil, has there ever been a time you've been bullied?
My mum did. I was bullied, saying to me I'm no good to anyone. And she said to me, I wish I didn't have you. And that still hurts me. And if I say it to anyone and report it back to my mum, I got into more trouble from moaning.
And how did you get out of that situation, Phil? Because that's a very hard thing to talk about, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I joined this group called Barnet People's Choice, People Who Learn Difficulties, Speaking Up for Yourself. And I was we're going around that room saying what's on our mind and everything. And I told them my situation, and they were shocked, they were. So one day I went to my foster home in Wood Street, and a man came up to see me, and he asked me what's been happening, so I told him. He said, right, you're not going home. Yes. So I had bruises on my back, on my front, and he said to me, who did this for you? Who did this on you? I said, my mum did. He said, right, you're not going home. I said, where am I going? We said, we'll find a place for you, Philip. And they sent me to the ladies in Elstree in Bournemouth. So on that Wednesday I said, bye mum, see you tonight. And that night I didn't go home.
Wow, and how many years ago was that?
That was 30 years ago.
Wow. And you've actually spoken about that on YouTube, haven't you?
Yes, I have, yeah. Because I kept things inside me. Yes. And if I say anything to anyone, and report it like to my mum, I got into more trouble from moaning. Yes. You know?
You're very brave to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm more. Don't take it serious, silly. I'm more strong now. I'm very happy in myself. I've got freedom. I've got people who love me and care about me. You know, and this group means a lot to me as well.
Philip, do you have any advice you would give to someone if they were in a similar situation as you were?
Yes, I have. Don't let it. let it stick on you. Just tell people and tell them, get some help.
Yeah, because if you kept it a secret, you'd probably still be there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would be. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would still. Yeah.
And it sounds like you got some amazing support.
Oh, I did, and I still have. Yeah. I got. I just feel freedom. I got freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people said to me, "You should have done it a long time ago," but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. Carol, can I ask you a question? Have you ever been bullied?
So this happened when I was younger. I was outside with a group of friends, and it was like the end of break time, and I remember struggling to pronounce a word, and some of the girls were laughing at me, but they were purposely laughing at me because I couldn't pronounce the word, because they kept asking me to pronounce the word, and I wanted to fit in, so I just kept trying to pronounce the word, and I knew they were laughing at me, but I still continued anyway. But yeah, that's what happened. Another memory was when I had I was at break time, and I wanted to hang out with a friend group, and they didn't really want me to hang out with them, so they just left me out, and yeah.
Did you talk to anybody about it, Carol?
I didn't really say anything to the teachers because I didn't really want to be a snitch. I didn't want to tell on my friends, so I just kept it to myself. But eventually I told my mum, and she's like, "Why didn't you tell the teacher?" And I was like, "Well, they're my friends and I don't want to snitch on them. I would feel bad if I snitched on them." It's like, oh, she's like, "No, that wasn't okay for them to do."
If you could tell young Carol now, what would you say to her?
I would say they're not your friends, really. They were fake friends. You should have told someone, probably. Yeah. Jonathan, do you know if there are any other different types of bullyings?
Yeah. Bullying comes in multiple forms. Some are obvious and some are very subtle. Yeah, being called names is one of the ones that's most common. Sometimes it can be just creating a sense of isolation with someone. You won't treat them the same way, and it causes them to just feel that they don't belong among the rest of the people. You could be trying to live a normal, healthy sort of life, trying to make friends and all that, and people, they just won't treat you as if they want to be around you.
I have a question. If you do something to upset somebody once, is that classified as bullying?
Yes, of course. All it takes is once. Once is all it takes to be a bully. It doesn't have to be a repeat thing. Just don't even do it once. There's no excuse. Just a singular effect is all it takes. With social media, it's basically invented, another type of bullying since social media's inception. When you can get bullied by people, miles away, by people that, you've only met a handful of times, that can sometimes be worse, because it gives their bullying a level of convenience for them. Social media has made socialising a lot easier, but it's made bullying a lot easier. And it turns something which should be a source of happiness and safety into the worst kind of torture when you just can't seem to get away from it very easily. I know a lot of these social media websites are trying to make it easier, but there's always ways where bullies can get to you. So, Carol, what would you say we have learnt from this discussion?
So, we've learnt different forms of bullying and how it affects someone in different ways. And we've also learnt about everyone's experience and what they've gone through. And I think the best advice you would give to someone if they're going through that is to tell someone immediately. Sometimes it's hard for someone to tell their situation and their story, but I think it's important to open up to someone you trust, and then because if you bottle all that emotion in and all that trauma, then you're gonna feel like there's a big heavy rock inside your bag that's filling up, and eventually it's gonna get to you, and then you're gonna bottle all that emotion in and just cry. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's important to tell someone.
Jonathan, what would you recommend to for listeners if they feel like they've been bullied?
I feel like you should do whatever you can to stop yourself from feeling powerless, because that can be a big result of bullying. The feeling of powerlessness and hopelessness and the loneliness that can come with it. Seek out the company of people that you like. It doesn't matter who it is. Anyone will do, as long as they help you feel better about yourself. Any advice that they have to give, listen. And try to avoid violence, of course. Any sort of violence done back to a bully should only be there for the purpose of ending it and not going any further. And just trying to find, any sort of positivity you can.
Final thoughts.
It's been a heavy and an emotional episode today, and we would just like to wrap everything up and say goodbye.
Make sure you eat a kiwi each day. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. If you like what you're listening to, please like, share, spread the podcast amongst your friends, and subscribe or give us a follow. And if you have any ideas, please get in touch. Bye.